Hello everyone and welcome to the top 10 Byakuyas on Bleach Brave Souls. Byakuya was one of the ones that was heavily requested on the previous video's comments for the next top 10 character, so do let me know what other characters you want to see. And if you enjoy these videos, do hit like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, as it'll help keep me motivated. With that said, let's begin. We're starting off the list with one of my personal favorite Byakuyas to use, the tag team version of Byakuya. Now, I am a fan of characters from around this time of the game, and Byakuya is one of the best. Though his attack is slightly higher than his SP, he still has Frenzy as well as a strong attack damage and strong attack recharge link. This link is the best possible combo, and it makes him a very valuable character even if you decide not to use him. And I would understand why you wouldn't. Though his attacks can deal some decent damage, they don't exactly have the best range. His strong attack 1 deals damage to an area in front of him, his strong attack 2 deals damage to an area around him, and his strong attack 3 is a beam shot move, and that one does actually have some decent range. His Byakuya also has both an Arankar and a Spada killer, making him especially effective against the Spadas. In fact, I still like to use him in some Senkaimon floors. And before the recent update that made guild quests get a little bit harder, I actually used them there too, though I wouldn't use them there now. I do miss tag team characters, and I don't expect them to ever do them again, but I do wish there was a way to update the range from the attacks from some of these older characters. Next up is Kid Byakuya, the only one in this list who's not a captain. His Byakuya has a high SP as well as Berserker at 30% and Frenzy. He also has a strong attack recharge link, and being a resurrected character, he has a second link, though it's special move damage up by 30 and that's kinda meh. But the rest of him isn't meh, it's just kinda alright. He's got decent strong attacks with a lunge move strong attack 1, a vortex move strong attack 2, and a beyond full screen strong attack 3 thanks to Havoc at 20. All of these attacks can inflict debilitating laceration with the exception of the strong attack 2 that can inflict burn, and it's incredibly likely to do so because it's a vortex move. The combination of the static vortex move and burn make him a pretty good option against bosses, since you can trap them in one spot, diminish their health with burn, and get away before they have a chance to use their special. Finally, there's his special, that in addition to dealing debilitating laceration, also has devastation at 40, his link for another 30, and inflicts weakened defense. Overall, he's a solid character, but a bit slow due to the vortex and the lacking range of his strong attacks 1 and 2. But he's an older character, what do you expect? Alright, from here we really start to step it up. In fact, he's one of the more recent Byakuyas in the game, the Fierce Battle version of Byakuya. I mean, he's so recent, he has an updated link, normal attack damage of 30%. He's also got Bruiser at 50% and Flurry. Plus he's got an ability that increases his melee damage by 10% and 30 in Guild Quest. His Byakuya also has Berserker at 60% and a strong attack recharge link, so his strong attacks will actually deal some decent damage. He's got a full screen strong attack 3, a vortex move that surrounds him for his strong attack 2, which granted doesn't deal that much damage but is good for normal attacks, and a lunge move strong attack 1. He also has Marauder and Poise, as well as a Soul Reaper killer. Honestly, he's a very solid character. Damage-wise, he's on par to some of the more recent characters, but the reason he's not any higher on this list is because compared to the rest of the characters, he is a bit slow. Plus, most of the others are a bit more gimmicky and can be used in more areas of the game than he can. Though it is really cool that they finally gave us a Shukei Hakuteken version of this character, since while others do have it, it's only in their special.
その命よほどいらぬと見える。何をしている。行くぞ。
Next up is quite possibly one of my favorite, if not my favorite Byakuya to use in the entire game, the Cacao Society version of Byakuya, another resurrected version of this character, and one who is not so different to his unresurrected version form, except for the fact that he got a strong attack damage link to go with his strong attack recharge link, making him one of the best links in the game. Like many of the others, this Byakuya also has a high SP as well as Frenzy, and that's as far as his multipliers go, except of course for his new link. So why is he so good? Well, what sets him apart is actually his strong attacks, specifically his strong attack 2. This is because it's a 160 mag strong attack 2, which we don't see very much of these days. But this type of strong attack is a very unique quality, in that the closer you are to the enemy, the more damage it deals. The catch is that this type of attack pushes the enemies back, so any subsequent hits done by the same attack deal less and less damage. A problem for many characters with this type of attack, but not for Byakuya, since all of his attacks have a chance to inflict debilitating paralysis, locking enemies in place, and giving you the ability to deal massive amounts of damage with his strong attack 2, assuming you place yourself correctly. The other two strong attacks are also quite useful, with the lunge move strong attack 1 and a strong attack 3 that's full screen. In addition to being able to paralyze with everything, he's also completely immune to it. The strong attacks we get now are definitely better, since they have more range and have all sorts of weird effects, but over the long history of the different types of strong attacks we've had in this game, I definitely consider this one to be one of the first abnormal ones, that when used correctly could be a real game changer.
そろそろ理解できたか。K は私を切るどころか近づくことすらできない。
Next up we have the arena version of Byakuya. You guys remember arena characters? Good times. Anyway, this version of Byakuya has a really high SP, as well as a strong attack damage link of 20% and frenzy at 1. He's also got a strong attack recharge ability, and can inflict debilitating laceration on all of his attacks except for his strong attack 2, since it's a barrier move. It's also a hybrid vortex move that gathers enemies in one spot and then pushes them back. Perfect for crowd control. Byakuya can also inflict laceration just by existing, since he has Lacerator, and he deals 40% more damage to any enemy that is lacerated. His strong attack 1 is a shape shot move, we've already discussed his strong attack 2, and his strong attack 3 is beyond full screen, thanks to Havoc being at 20. He can use all of his attacks, even while being attacked thanks to his poise ability, and he's completely immune to being frozen. Overall, he's a solid character, though a bit slow given his strong attack types, but thanks to those types, he's also a versatile character. Though, let's be honest, better options are available.
我らの誇りを汚した罪、その身ごときであがなえると思うな。
Next up is a character that, for a while, reigned supreme as the strongest power character in the game during his time, the Spirit Society version of Byakuya. Since then, he's been resurrected and got even better. He has a really high SP as well as Berserker at 30%, Frenzy, a strong attack damage link of 12%, and another soul trait that increases his damage to frozen enemies by 20%, which he can take advantage of because all of his attacks can inflict debilitating freeze. He's got a Beam Shot strong attack 1, a strong attack 2 that hits a large area in front of him, and a beyond full screen strong attack 3, thanks to Havoc being at 20. He's also got complete poison immunity, and he's got a full stamina damage and 8 skill, though no way to heal himself. Now, despite being one of the oldest characters on this list and at number 5, he's actually the second fastest character on this list. Since there's no gimmicks to his strong attacks, they just straight up have great range and deal a decent amount of damage. He can be out-damaged by a lot of the other characters on this list, but it is hard to outspeed him.
構想はあとは形にするのみ。良い出来だ。
Next up is the remade swimsuit version of Byakuya. This Byakuya has a really high SP as well as Berserker at 40%, a strong attack recharge ability, a mind attribute Soul Reaper strong attack damage ability of 20%, that applies for the entire team, Frenzy, and a full stamina strong attack damage ability of 40%, which is very easy for him to keep given his abilities. He can inflict debilitating weakening on all of his attacks except for his strong attack 2, and that's because it's a barrier move and a heal move, which is why it's so easy for him to hold on to that full stamina damage. It's also a very good strong attack that hits a large area in front of him. His strong attack 1 is a beam shot move, and his strong attack 3 is a full screen move. He's also got guard break, multi-barrier at 2, medic, and he's a resource character, increasing the heart link slot potions you get and the heart droplets. Now, unfortunately, he does have the worst killer in the game of Zero Squad, but to be honest, you're more than likely only going to use him as a resource character, an autoer, or on that specific guild quest assuming you don't have a better option. Still, overall, a solid Byakuya, and one heck of a team player.
我が剣筋 K に見切ることなどかなわぬ。
Guys, it is so nice to be able to put a resurrected character so high up on the list. The 5th anniversary version of Byakuya is not only one of the more recent resurrected characters, but also one of the ones with the best upgrades. And he was already a really good character. He has both a Soul Reaper and a Hollow Killer, a boosted strong attack recharge link, and now a strong attack damage link, making him one of the best link characters in the game. His Berserker at 40% didn't change, but he did get an increased strong attack damage at full health ability of 30%, which, while he doesn't have a healing move, is actually pretty easy for him to hold on to. Not just because of his strong attack 2, which we'll get to, but also because after being resurrected, he's also completely immune to all status elements, meaning the only way he gets damaged is if an enemy actually damages him. No need to fear traps. Now let's talk about his strong attacks. His strong attack 1 is a shape shot move, his strong attack 3 is a hybrid vortex move that, thanks to Havoc, is beyond full screen, but his strong attack 2 is the real winner. Now, I've talked about this before, Byakuya was sort of the guinea pig for a lot of the features in the game. There have been a lot of "this is the first time this has happened" things related to him. Now, I won't get into all of them since there are a lot, but one of them was the Seeking Vortex that we all know and love. Now, not only does a decent chunk of initial damage, especially in Byakuya's case since it hits more than most, perks of being first I guess, but it also traps and staggers the enemy, dealing continuous damage. Plus the strong attack gets to recharge while it's doing this, and since he has a boosted strong attack recharge link, he only has to wait like maybe 2 seconds before he gets to use it again, which is one of the reasons why it's so easy for him to hold on to that full stamina damage. Additionally, because none of these attacks can inflict a status ailment, he also benefits from his new ability, which increases the damage he deals to enemies not affected with the status ailment by 50%. This applies to his normal attacks, his strong attacks, and of course his special, which already had bombardment but now has the additional effect of weakened defense. He's had one of the best upgrades for a resurrected character, and honestly it feels like he came out not that long ago, but he is a 5th anniversary character and we're at the 10th anniversary year, meaning he's been around for nearly half the game. Man, it definitely doesn't feel that way.
Bankai 千本桜影吉終わりだ
Next up is the 1000-year Blood War version of Byakuya, specifically the I Still Have My Bankai version. Now this Byakuya is a bit interesting. He's got a full stamina damage link of 30%, as well as a full stamina strong attack damage ability of 40%. He also has Frenzy at 2. You know what he doesn't have? A way to heal himself, which is apparently something K-Lab likes to do. Not only that, he's also not a ranged character, so the likelihood of him getting hit just went up. Now granted, he does have a start barrier at 10 ability, but that only lasts for 20 seconds, and most things you do are gonna take longer than 20 seconds. Still, while you do have full stamina, the damage output is actually insane, especially given that all of his attacks except for his strong attack 2 can inflict debilitating weakening, and he deals 40% more damage to weakened enemies. His strong attack 1 is a beam shot move, his strong attack 2 is a boost move with enhancer and booster, and his strong attack 3 is a full screen move. He's also got a strong attack recharge ability, so you can somewhat spam his attacks except for his strong attack 2, and he's got Marauder and complete immunity to being burnt. Honestly, he is a really good character. I just get a little annoyed when I see a character that has full stamina damage abilities without any way of preserving health, and no, start barriers don't count. I feel like they're only good in specific situations, mostly PvP, and even then a lot of them get ignored now. But still, it says a lot that despite that he's still at number 2 on this list. Now you only get 3 honorable mentions for this list. I could technically do 5, but realistically the other ones are not worth using. Do let me know what other characters you want to see in top 10 lists though.
属州に習うのも務め我が矜持見せてやろう
私を捕らえることはできん終わりだ
千景千本桜影吉王に一家千人か
よく見るがいいこれは視界ただの千本桜だ
Now one of the first 1000-year Blood War characters in this game was Byakuya. He was one of the original 4 in the banner, you just saw him in the honorable mentions, and for a good while he was one of only 2 not so usable 1000-year Blood War characters in the game. He did have his uses, but they were few and very specific, which is why I'm so glad that the remake of him is this good. He not only has a really high SP, but he's also got a boosted strong attack recharge link of 14%, Berserker at 60%, a full stamina strong attack damage ability of 40%, the ability to inflict both debilitating paralysis and weakening on all of his attacks, plus an 80% SP boost if he does, another ability that increases the amount of damage Soul Reapers deal to status affected enemies, a Human Killer Plus, and Disabler against humans, meaning the likelihood of inflicting a status element and getting that SP boost is high, and of course, Frenzy at 2. So everything I just said, triple it. Now yeah, here's another character with a full stamina damage ability without any way to heal. However, he's much more likely to not take damage, given that 1, he's a ranged character, 2, his attacks inflict weakening and paralysis, 3, he's completely immune to all status elements, and 4, he's got an EX move that not only deals damage, but is also a barrier move. It provides 5 for him without the need of multi-barrier at 2, and they last for 30 seconds as opposed to the usual 20. That said, it's not a strong attack, so it doesn't benefit from the strong attack recharge link, the frenzy, or the full stamina strong attack damage boost. Still, it does pack a heavy punch along with his other strong attacks. He's got a beam shot strong attack 1, a near full screen strong attack 2, and a beyond full screen strong attack 3 thanks to Havoc. He's also got poise break, sharpshooter, sprinter at 2, and his special has bombardment and weakened defense. He's an exceptional character with my only complaint being in his killer, and to be honest, that's more of a me specific thing. I just wish they would have given him something better like Soul Reaper or Rankar. Still, they did his remake justice, and although it's not needed, I do hope we get another version of this character, just because I really like it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do hit like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for some more top 10 lists.